Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. We have an instance where that is overwhelmingly bright. I put it on smooth because I wanted to feel... Oh, there we go. Oh, it's dimming down. Oh, yeah. I wanted to feel smooth as this. Again, we break tradition because, we go back to old traditions of separation between the quick view and the junk view. This is going to be a junk view, man. This is going to be a junk view. There's really no way around it. I will find the nearest haberdasher. I will purchase a hat, and I will eat it if this tire manages to put up any sort of a quick view score. We've got fake Landmine. Wait. I should have done this to begin with. All right. It's like a chunky, shorter. Oh, there's this. I know this should be impossible. This is why I'm pre-designating Junkview. This is firmer than this. This is mounted with an insert in it, and it takes less force to do that than it does to do this. Oh, also, red flag. I wish that was on red at the time. Blue flag. That's right. BRKRC. They're not super BRKRCs. So we don't even get super BRKRC. We just get BRKRCs. 1.9 by 4.5 by 1.9. I'll be the judge of that. We've mounted 3. We have 1 more to mount. Oh, yes, I'd be remiss. Heavily belted. Heavily reinforced on the side. And I don't know, does it Starsky? No. It does leave like a... Can you see that? You can see that, right? That's concerning. Oh yeah. It's a little slippery. They feel a little greasy. The recipe is Canyon medium for the rears, Canyon softs in the front. I mounted them, and I got to tell you, it's all flowing back to me now because the rubber is so heavy. It's really difficult. You can't stretch it. It's really difficult to get the insert in. It's not fun. Let's get these centered up as best as we can. Fake Landmine via Belgium, via AliExpress. And my hopes are none. I love a Junkview. So, it's mostly the sidewall ribbing that is where the proper stiffness comes. And I'm not going to lie, man. When I get a tire that I presume to be a proper Junkview tire, I get excited. Because I want to see it. I either want to see it exceed / defy those expectations, or I want it to be truly terrible. I want it to be so bad because nobody cares about an upper 70s, low 80s tire. That means, yeah, it's functional. You could probably find them super cheap, put them on a rig that only is driven by a child or never touches rocks and only lives in the dirt. Okay. Now that this has an insert in it, and I'm feeling it on is that trying to pop bead? It's not trying. It did. Wow. That's like, I'm at a loss for words on that. These are so hard. What are the chances that part of that bead would somehow sneak out over the beadlock ring? Oh man, this is a hard tire. This is one of the hardest tires. The thing I'm most surprised by at this point is that we don't get the Starsky sounds when sliding it across the bench mat. I mean, crazy. You could, it's not quite a hockey puck, but I should have done the bounce. Should have done the bounce to see how high they bounce. Well, we can get a semi bounce. Yeah, buddy. Pardon me, Susan. Out of frame. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Rupture. The hardest I could. And that's on a foam, which is going to get a little more rebound. Silicone? Yeah. Yeah, buddy. It's not about the insert. It's not about the density of the insert. It's about how absurdly you know what it feels like? It's a lawnmower tire. This feels the same as the tires on my lawnmower. That is honestly kind of impressive. You want to build like a little cart with them. 1.9 by 4.5 by 1.9. 116, which is, by gum and by golly, that's like a 455. So it is. Do we have a 455? We do. I think these are 455s. Rock Beast XORs are 455. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. They have very similar kooky treads. The Rock Beast XOR is the Pitbull tire that has done the best here. Asterisk. I don't think these are gonna. I don't think these are even going to be the best not the best BRKRC tire that we've tested so far. 49. It's a chunky boy. It's a low pro chunky boy. Those are both rears. It's honestly, I got to look through the vent hole. Yep, those are both fronts. It's so firm that a soft insert and a medium insert are virtually indistinguishable. That is some heavy duty rubbers. Now we'll have a nice fitment, and we're going to be very particularly, especially low on angry Lexan noises because we're tiny little tires. I like a 455, 445, 435. I like that. I don't know. Twilight zone between 465 and class 1. So between 4.2 and 465, you've got this weird area that some manufacturers embrace and others do not. Tires like the Ripsaw are fantastic. One of the best tires out there for a Portal TRX4 because you don't need a 475 tire on a Portal. You're getting the ground clearance from the axle, so you can put a lower profile tire on it, still have the same amount of ground clearance as a straight axle rig, but you'll bring your CG down because Portals are gonna crank your CG up 12 millimeters, 13 millimeters, and there's not a lot you can do about it except, put a lower profile tire on it. Or I guess you could go the complete opposite route, and Traxxas is putting 2 2s on them all now. Let's go. Instead of going to a 435 or a 445, let's put 5 1/4s on it. That will enhance stability. So this guy should enjoy a day of enhanced stability, and not just due to the overall height of the tire. I think there's going to be additionally enhanced stability due to the fact that I think he could just whip donuts all day because this compound is never going to generate enough traction to flip him over. But that is a reckless assumption. They might surprise me. Either way, in a Junkview, we win. It's either better than we think it's going to be, or it's terrible. And both of those things are pretty great. Oh, I wanted to end on pretty great. As I was driving back and listening to tires so hard that they should be fitted to farm or yard equipment, I thought, is there ever another instance in our lives where we would hope to find a real landmine? I think in every other mode of life, and wherever you might be, If you step on it and it's a fake landmine, you go, man, whew. But I think we're not gonna be happy about a fake landmine. I gotta say, that's already up. It knocked my words out. Look at you. Look at you. Well, I gotta start Googling edible hats. I thought this did not have a chance to make it to the top. Holy crap. Holy crap. You know what? If there's a gun we have to stick to, though, it's that we called this a Junkview. This is the Super BRKRC was terrible. This is the BRKRC, and there must be something special to the tread cut of a landmine. So this scoring will go on the Junkview side of the score chart, and we may well have the best performing. What's up there now? Tiger dogs? Oh, look at that. Can you push back right? Do you have enough traction? Can you lift over this ledge without falling? Get up. Look at you go. Look at BRKRC. You've done it. Again, we harken back. So they call it a callback. If it's abjectly terrible, we're happy. If it does better than anticipated, we're happy. This does not have a surplus of grip, but it has, well, we can't say infinitely, significantly more grip than anticipated. These are so hard, which, you know, nothing is all bad all the time. It should last forever. Yeah, where we get into a situation where we're dividing traction, where we're relying on the front axle, particularly, most namely, the driver front needs to be doing all the work right here, because it's the only tire that's got some decent cross weight on it. Driver rear is kind of hanging out in the open. Passenger front's is a little unsupported. We're not going to anticipate a lot of drive out of the passenger rear, as the cross weight is working opposite of that. If you take this down to one tire to do the job, you can do it with not a surplus of wheel speed, all the wheel speed. You can do stupid stuff with a particularly hard tire. Okay, so I have to mind frame for, let's see if we can get right there on the beam, right there. Okay, so this is a junk score. I'm going to circle it on the card so that I remember. We look at numbers a little differently when we're doing a Junkview. The bar is not as high. This is not a quick viewable tire. I can tell you right now, in quick view scoring, and I don't want to go through the next 9 stations quick view scoring this, because it would get like an 84, 85. Instead, the Junkview score at Slick Rock, we are going to give that a 9.2, because I'm thinking back to the Tiger Dog. As good, maybe better, weirdly. So let's fill the rest of the day with baseless speculations. Why not? There's nothing to lose. It's the beauty of a Junkview. There's nothing to lose. This is a tire that has a niche. Every tire has a niche. But like, if you're buying it for a rock crawler, probably not. Probably not. I don't think it's worth the money savings. Thanks to already, that's still better. Thanks to Injora, who's selling us quick viewable tires at Junkview prices. Oh, I wish my brain worked good. I have a clearly hazy memory of a tire. What tire was it? Where you had traction and then it just stopped. It didn't taper off. There wasn't a certain drop off of capability at like the really steep stuff. This tire is that again. Really well on the turn in, the brake over the entry. Then you get to right here. There's just no more drive in the tire. Come on. I don't know if we're going to manage the cutback on a 455. Let's really... Sometimes the solution is beans. Get it back on the middle and... I love it. I love it. Do it. Do the thing. Yeah, there we go. In the spirit of basal speculations, I feel like this tire is going to manage to do all of the things. It's going to do all of the things. I think it's even not going to pull a 5 in wet. My God, that is a wild, what a bold and brazen thing to say. It's just not going to be really great at any of them. It is quite bouncy. The traction falls off precipitously, and then it will pull, and you're like, wait, what? If this okay, I have made prejudgments as to side hill performance before. If this thing doesn't do decent on the side hill, everything's out the window for this tire. This tire is a mastery of mystery. By the way, Daphne's, that's a 9.0 over there. That was a 9.0. Okay, is it going to be how much? Basically, what we're trying to pre-anticipate is what is the amount of slip we're going to get? What's the amount of side slide? Already less than I thought. I don't think we're going to get any fold over in the rear. How are these going to manage transfer? There's no squish in that rear tire at all. If I just give it the tiniest bit of throttle, that's already way deeper into that transition than I thought it was going to manage to get. I don't think I can set it back down though. There, look at this. Can I tease it? That passenger rear. There was a point on that side hill where it was all on two tires. So we don't have enough grip to do the things. It's weird. It's coming back around again. If these tires were any harder than they are, they would be casters. Yet another tire in the list that you might be able to get away with running no insert or something very soft. I don't think that you're going to get, like, here's your deflection. We can three wheel, come on. If there's any deflection in that tire, it doesn't lift that rear. Ooh, it's really slipping out now. Whoa, we're chalking up. We're chalking up. I think if we come across, I want the rear to slide out a little more, right like that. And then we get up here, and then we can slide it into position, and it'll set the front back down. Yeah. Did I mention a 9 at Daphne's? I'm going to give that a 9 as well. This is a surprisingly competent, based on how low the forward drive is. Like, it's not grippy unless it is. And then as soon as it is, it kind of isn't anymore. And then it is again. And then it does whatever it wants to do. There's so many days of chainsawing here, you would think I lived in the forest, deep in the forest. So this is a game of inches. Some tires can get right up near the top of the ledge. This huge, we're We're just going to keep increasing throttle until something happens. Even if it just launches out to one side. I kind of want to get to a point where wheel speed is at such a point where we're not getting any more hop. We're the hop at like 30% throttle is the same as the hop at 50, is the same at the hop as just wide open. I'm basically just trying to put some gummy on them. The is almost surely bound for the skewers. Okay, I saw something fall out, and I hope it's rubber. Ooh. It should be warm now. Try the shuttle. Can you at least pass the shuttle for me? No. An odd amount of stability. It seems, here's where it strikes me. This is a tire that, yet again, we have tires being sold. If you fit on a 1.9 inch wheel, I am going to make an assumption that you are marketed towards rock crawlers, because that is what fits on 1.9 inch wheels. There we go. This. Okay, we're just gonna go. We relent. This is not a rock crawling tire. If it's basically, and I'm trying to think of exceptions, and the database is coming up with nothing. If you have belting and ribs and belts, you are not a crawling tire, because crawling tires don't have those. We operate off of deflection, the ability to conform to a surface. Yeah, we could just go full. This is cruise control right here. Let me tell you this. Do it. Do it. I'll tell you this. The forward that was wild. I don't think Baseline's ever he's got the wonky wiper again. I don't think he's ever been in that position. The grip is not getting better. It's actually getting worse. We're gonna try, and here's the thing with Junkview scoring. Junkview only goes. It's a much smaller window of score. So I said a 9.0 and a 9.0, and I'm going to give him an 8.8 here at the Beast. I was really kind of hoping to keep the junk scores above 9, but that was terrible. That was definitively terrible. And wrong again, as per usual. If this, oh, there's that. What difference does 0.2 inches in height make? A lot. If this were a quick view, if we had let the rules be the rules, and the ability to clear slick rock navigate that we have circled quick on the scorecard instead of junk, oh, these would be doing so badly. It'd be 7.5s pretty much across the board, because it's doing the things and it's terrible at them. And then it does that. Nothing is terrible all the time. Well, I mean, Kurt Vonnegut has a thing called "Fate's Worse Than Death." There are things that are terrible all the time. So allow me to restrict. Rock crawling tires are not terrible all the time. They're going to be good at something, if incidentally. Well, I really got the slipper going there. Genuinely surprising to see the slipper kick into action as we have a tire that doesn't really have enough. I didn't think it'd have enough grip to lock in. Like, great on the other side. And then we get over here and I can't do it. We'll give him... Oh, the self-right might be the thing it does the best at. Baseline, if you drive an Enduro, don't put 4.55s on it. That 1/10 of an inch, because he runs 4.65s all day, that 1/10 of an inch is crazy noticeable. Should not be, but is. Well, okay, it is in these. Yeah, he cannot... all throttle. Okay, use that firmness. I realize now the ball is off. It's fine. Yeah, there's no deflection on that front tire. It is loaded. So can we go advanced gate in between the knocked off ball? We touched it a little. You would have cleared that gate no problem. Again, what? This tire, not including wet and self-right. Wet and self-right will be the outliers. The scores that we would eliminate if we were judging a figure skating competition or gymnastics or something. Everything else is going to be an 8.8, a 9.0, or a 9.2. That's where we're going to go. Because every time I try to score it down, it surprises me, and every time I try to give it an extra 0.2, it can't do the thing. For you see, what I'm trying to do is neg the tire into, oh, he's here, into conjuring up some sort of, I don't know, respectable performance. I hope he didn't hear that. I kind of hope he heard it a little bit. Like, good entry, and then in the middle, the waiter is carrying an impressive amount of wine glasses on a tray. And then halfway through the dining room, he just drops them. That's the BRKRC. Entry. The initial entry. Good. Right there. And then as soon as you get to a point where you need actual traction on the one, it's gone. For a non-rock crawler tire, though, this is like, I could see this on a short course truck. Like, they would probably work pretty well. I don't like the T word. I don't like to use the T word. Because, am I going to pick these for trailing? No. No, I'm not. As a matter of fact, what do we still have? Yeah, we did that one, and we're doing this one. I'm curious. I want to see how high we can get the bump. Okay, it doesn't bounce nearly as much as I thought it would. It has a lot of slide back. Honestly, at this point, whatever the Tiger Dog Honor got, put this 1 point less than that overall. So Oblivion was I gotta give that a 9.0. Daphne's third is an 8.8. The bump, I'm gonna give that a 9.0 because that's honestly, it's pretty flat. They're very heavy. And they actually act dead. I don't think Baseline's got the Hulk behind him to put that real bounce into him. I thought we were going to get real high. But the zero deflection. Oh no. Because he had got high hopes. Oh no. Oh, it turns out they're really bad at this. So they can catch. If I'm halfway through a fall, they can catch. Yeah, it'll whip. You can do a bit of a whip, but yeah, you got a seesaw. The seesaw's not bad. Okay. So, but let's fail it. Let's see if I can trifecta the fail. Yeah, it just does not have the cut. There's no deflection. So he kind of just drives around the back tire and then onto his lid. So self-right, we gotta go with the 8.8. We've got dirt and we've got wet. I think the lug should clear reasonably well. I think it might have that going for it, but I mean, what a roller coaster. My hopes. I could easily drop that 9.2 at Slick Rock to a 9.0. Now let's mush a little dirt, splash a little water. Ooh, they cut pretty good. That was borderline okay. Yeah, there is a point of stability, and then it just falls away because when we drop that edge, zero deflection. They act impossibly hard. This is not a tire that is going to be helped by the insert before anyone suggests it. A good insert can make a good tire great or has the potential to do so. No insert made can make a bad tire good. And that is where we sit here now. Yet at the same time, it's certainly not the worst that we've seen. There we go. A little angle on it, popped right over. Again, I think there is a niche. If you don't rock crawl, we've had these sort of high wear, beat them to death tires before. So the Landmine, which is not, you saw that pit bull, the Ruck Beast XOR is in the family of lug shape. We've seen that this pattern to the tread, it works. There's no compound involved here. These could potentially last forever. Hey, that was the first time I dropped down the right-hand side and didn't roll. So definitely better than the original super BRKRC. The regular BRKRC, the fake Landmine. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. There's no buildup on the tires at all that I see. No, tiny little bit of dirt inside the stepped lug. It's nothing. If choosing between those two scores, I would give it a 9 here, and then we're just going to test it on wet, and then I'm going to give this tire an 89. So. I don't want to ruin it. So all that I'm asking here, and I don't think it's excessive, is for this tire to just be essentially equally feckless, wet versus dry. Yeah, if you're waiting, it'll catch nice. But now it's kind of transitioning into the infuriating, which is if you make this out of a compound suitable for driving on rock, it would pull this. And I think it would even hold, I feel like that's gonna go if we don't slide all the way off. Try to use some lug, nope. No, it's, Now it's kind of making me mad because now I'm worried that we're gonna wet it and then forget it. Doesn't need to be that wet. I think any amount of moisture is gonna do it. Surprise me! This is your last. Oh no. Okay. Wait for it. Wait. Hey. There have been many a tire tested that when we cut cruise control, it just goes. It just slides. Oh! Glimmer. Hans Glimmer. The glimmer of hope. Now, you know what it is? You know what? Props. We can't get. Props to the BRKRC. Props to the fake landmine. It has indeed done a thing. It has fulfilled a prophecy, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's done something kind of nice for us. And that is, it took us on a journey. There were highs and there were lows. There were ups, there were downs. I didn't fix his wiper again. There were surprises in both directions. Yays and nays. So I just erased 2 of the scores and wrote 2 new scores in. It goes 9, 8.8, 9, 8.8, 9, 8.8, 8.8, 9, 9, 8.8. It's a no math. Because if you have 5 9s and 5 8.8s, that's an 89. I don't even have to add that up. It's an 89. An 89 Junkview is don't. You can do way better. But at the same time, they're not horrible. They're bad. And I think if you were driving around in and on the creek, great. Just don't try to crawl rocks on them. They're ribbed and they are belted, and therefore, by my definition, not a rock crawler tire. At the same time, it could have been, and I would have preferred just terrible. I will take a 75 over an 89. Because an 89 is so, and an 89 in Junkview score, an 89 is so, okay, if we had followed the rules and we had quick view scored this, it would be like a 75. The 7.5 in the quick view scoring is it manages to do the things. It's not very good at any of them, but it manages to do them. Now I'm starting to rethink everything. Should it just be a 75 on the... Yeah. I'll be generous. This tire could land on both leaderboards. If it was on the quick view leaderboard, it would be like a 76, which is an absolutely don't do that. And on the Junkview leaderboard, it would be an 89. I stand by that 89, which is also a... If you can get them for $12 and you're not going to crawl on rocks... if you're going to put them on on a Centon, would they fit on a Centon? I don't think they'd fit on a Centon 3S. Maybe an old Slash 2-wheel drive. Pop those on there. Would those fit on a Slash 2-wheel drive? I think so. I think a Slash 2-wheel drive would fit 2.2s. It might fit 1.9s. I don't know. There's no reason to buy this tire. There isn't. And except for just the sheer enjoyment of it. Or if you have a very small lawn tractor. They're like, do you have an outdoor Roomba? Like these would be great for that, I presume. So there you go. Either way, we will make, if there's no good time to be had, we will make a good time of it. So I thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I hope that in between now and when we meet again, you all do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time here from the canyon. And look at this. This isn't even a genuine transition. Look, this is a real, can I come into frame? Will it focus? Magnetic lens cap. We'll see you next time, everybody.